time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Deer Camp Coffee,
Buck Baits,
JPO Game Calls,
The Island Armory,
Hacker Max,
Sunrise Archery,
and C3 Better the Hunt Technology.
Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. I'm host Mike Adams, sitting in a toasty warm cabin tonight with Dan DeFaw. What's going on this week?
I tell you what, it's May and it's 79 degrees. Is it still 79? Let me check. It's getting warm here in May, and I see everything's 79 degrees right here in your town of Klein.
79 degrees.
79 degrees.
I know it was in the 80s when I got out of work. It was
right?
It was roasty toasty. It's going to be a great weekend this weekend, too.
I know, right? It's going to be awesome, and you're going to go camping.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably be around the house shooting the bow. And
did you shoot any this week after we got done?
I did.
And
you know what? Got to get used to the new cam.
Yeah.
I had to tweak it in a little bit more. 20 yards, I think I'm pretty good at, and then I'm just going to work out to 50. Then I'll set the tape and I'll be ready to go.
You think you're all set?
I think I'm all.
Okay. Let's hope.
Right, well, it is right. That's one thing you just got to hope and go with it.
All right. Well, let's get into it tonight. Let's talk about the people who support us.
How about we do that? I tell you what, folks. Brick and mortar store down at 15 in Dodge Park. Deer Camp Coffee Outfitters. If you haven't been there, you got it. You got to get there. And I tell you what, they've got the outdoor patio open. Beautiful out. If you want to get a lunch, get down there, get a lunch or a salad. Try the Nitro Cold Brew.
I almost made some cold brew the other night.
But you got to try the Nitro. I mean,
Okay.
it is... Julie's got some good stuff down there, and I tell you what, they're also got buck baits, and they're also working on some more buck bait stuff, but it's never too late to think about buck baits in the upcoming deer season, and if you use the promo code UNJ20 over at buckbaits.com, you do get 20% off. You know what? It's still planting season here in Michigan, because you never know when it might frost.
Right.
And if you get over to packermax.com, get over there, talk to Lincoln Road, have him help you out, get all set up on a new Packer Max. If you use the promo code UNJ25, $25 off order. JPO Game Calls. They do have some down at Deer Camp. You can check them out there as well. But if you use the promo code UNJ10 over at jpogamecalls.com, you get 10% off your order. I can't say enough about the Island Armory. I tell you what, go check their website out at theislandarmory.com. Check out the front page. That's what they have in stock. Other things they can get in a few days. And best of all, if you use the promo code UNJ10, you get 10% off your order. And like I was saying, Deer Camp Coffee. We got Buckzilla Vanilla.
That's right.
I tell you what, it's good stuff. Get on down there. Pick up some coffee. They've got the flavored coffees in. They got the Nitro Brew, like I said. They got the cold brew. And if you go to deercampcoffee.com and use the promo code UNJ10, you get 10% off your order. And while you're ordering, why not order a bag of UNJ coffee, our own brand?
That's right.
Right? So get over there, get online, order some up, and have some with us. We're doing a live show.
Well, what's the weather like up north?
Well, I tell you what, it's up north. It looks fan-frickin-tastic. And I tell you what, it looks like it is 76 degrees up there where you can go to Newberry. And if you're thinking about having a pizza and a coffee, get over to Cedars and get a nice pizza and some Deer Camp products over there at the stores.
There's no leaves on the trees yet up there.
No, they're not as green as we are.
It is greening up here for sure.
And you know, it's one of those things you just sit there and it's like when I go up in May. You can see it.
Yep.
And it's like...
You can see the progression.
Right? Just like in the fall. It's vice versa. But I tell you what, it's May. We're in the middle of turkey season. So why not we get on a fisherman and hunter extraordinaire that's been out there doing it and doing some fishing? All
right. Hey, we want to introduce Adam Winn tonight, all the way from Heartland, Michigan. Right here in our back door. Adam, what's going on, man?
How's it going, man? How you doing?
I'm roasting. You know, you never thought you'd hear us complain in May. You know the way this spring's been.
And in the chat, Mark Coleman says it's 94 degrees in Indiana.
Keep it down there.
Oof, yeah.
Right?
Don't need it up here, Mark.
It's a dry heat in Indiana.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I know about that area down there, and it is not a dry heat.
Right? So, man, how you been doing?
Oh, really good, man. Just enjoying the nice weather we finally have gotten. It's been a long winter for sure.
And spring.
Right?
Yeah, and spring, yeah.
And the reason we were having Adam on is, people watch the show, whether Facebook or they listen to the show, we get feedback, we get comments. And Adam Winn has always been on for the last about 2 years or so, always commenting, good comments. And he's also adding pics, which is really nice. And he's been out ice fishing, he's been out fishing, he's been out turkey hunting, he's been out deer hunting. So we said, hey, you know what? Sounds like he's a hunter to us. Let's get him on.
I think he's actually been out more in the woods and on the water in the last year than I have.
Right? And I tell you what, Adam, let's start off with all about Adam. Tell us a little bit about you and how did you get into hunting and what's got your passion going, driving you?
So I'm 28, so fairly young still. No one in my family really hunts or fishes. So my dad actually had a good friend of his that got me into hunting and fishing. So that's how I kind of got into everything. And ever since he showed me the ropes, I got hooked on everything doing, with, outdoors, fishing, turkey hunting, everything. So
that's, you got to take your hat off to a guy that does that for youth, or not even for youth, for other guys or gals that are out there, because not everybody grows up in a hunting family, and not everybody has that opportunity.
And I think that's one of the good things that big shout out to all the sportsmen out there that whether you're a woman or a man, and if you know somebody that their family isn't into it, or just they're not into it, but you kind of see the interest, and they say, hey, come along with me, and by gosh, you get him out there, and if it takes, man, look at Adam here, the friend got him hooked, and now he's 4 seasons out fishing or hunting. Yeah,
well, and Michigan's definitely got them, and I think we've had every one of them in this month.
Right, exactly. So, going back to, what was your first thought about? Now, let's start with fishing. What was your first thought catching that fish?
I mean, it was exhilarating. I was super young when I first fished, so it was just with a bobber and a worm and catching bluegills, and that's all it took was just those little bluegills to get me hooked, and it just progressed up. I just started learning more about bass fishing, pike fishing, walleye fishing. So I kind of self-taught myself a lot of stuff, but I definitely got introduced by my dad's friend who taught me a lot for sure. So
how old were you when he took you out the first time?
Probably 10 years old.
Okay, so you caught the bug really young.
Yep. Okay. Fishing wise, and then I probably didn't get deer hunting till I was probably 13 or 14. Okay, and that was with the shotgun. So
down here in the southern zone.
Yep.
How old were you when you took your first deer?
I think I was 15 or 16 when I shot my first doe.
Okay.
And it was with a shotgun. So.
Did you have the big adrenaline dump and the shakes and the jitters and all that?
Yep. Yes, I did. Yep. It fell right in front of me too. So it was definitely a sight to see for sure.
Do you still get that?
Yeah, every time. Yep, every time.
I don't know.
Even seeing deer.
I don't know anybody that doesn't.
Right.
When whether you're catching that fish or you're shooting a turkey or you're hunting deer, just getting that adrenaline, that whole zoning out, whatever you're doing. I don't know anybody that doesn't excited.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
And if you tell me you don't, then yeah, okay, I don't believe you. But so we're doing the fishing side of it right now, and so out of all of them here in Michigan, you got everything to catch. What's your favorite to go after?
My favorite's probably ice fishing. I like fishing for walleye through the ice is probably my favorite fishing for sure. I definitely get myself out on the ice more than I do on the open water. So definitely walleye through the ice is probably one of my top ones for sure.
What is it about the ice that attracts you so much?
I don't know, just setting up your little shanty, getting out on the ice, before the sun comes up, just like hunting. I mean, getting in the blind, watching everything wake up, getting the fish on your fish finder, seeing all these fish come in, and then you start catching fish. I mean, it's just like deer hunting. Your adrenaline starts going. So,
do you find, like, we talked a little bit about your work, but people your age, that you hang out with, do you hear a lot about people your age getting out and doing this, or is you find more like, I always imagine people on their phones, and worried about who, going out and getting lunch or whatever instead of hitting the outdoors. We see that so much. Are the people you hang around with more of an outdoors type person?
A lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot. A few people I work with, hunt and fish, but like a lot of my close friends, they not hunter fishers, not at all. No.
Speaking of that, is there somebody, a significant other that you share your passion with out on the ice?
I don't have a significant other. No.
All right. There you go.
That gets in the way of hunting and fishing, dude. Come on.
Exactly.
Not necessarily. If you find the right one.
Exactly. You got to find the right one.
Exactly. So, and that's when you'll find the right one when they, hey, let's go do it together. Or, But it's one of those things. And, so ice fishing. And one of the questions coming in is, have you ever made a fire on the ice?
Never made a fire on the ice, but one friend I do ice fish with, he's got like a grill that we use on the ice. It's a Mr. Buddy, so we do grill out there.
Nothing like
gotta have food, dude.
Breakfast burritos on the ice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Some hot dogs, brats.
There you go. So, you're after walleye. Favorite body of water that you like to fish here in Michigan? Because I heard you say you were up at Little Bay to Knock, Saginaw Bay. What's kind of your favorite hot spot to go for walleye?
Saginaw Bay is a really big one for me for ice fishing. But this year I did a little bit up north fishing and did some Little Bay to Knock fishing. That was a lot of fun. I got into some pretty good walleye and some pretty good pike as well. So I also went up to Mullet Lake as well and did pretty good there as well. So
you travel quite a bit then.
Yep, my friend actually lives in Onaway. So
okay.
When we went and fished Mullet Lake, that's only about 20 minutes from him.
Right.
And then we went across the bridge one time and went to Little Bay to Knock and gave it a shot, and we had a good time for sure.
So just on a whim, you decide, hey, let's go across the bridge and let's hit the UP and see what we can find.
Yeah, I mean, we've been thinking about it for a couple of years now, following some reports, getting some information, because going in blind is definitely a hard deal. So we gathered some information, and then we did it, and we got into some pretty good fish. So.
Hats off, man. A lot of people, they just won't make that effort to do the homework and don't go on trips like that.
And they might be afraid to do it, or not knowing where they're going, but they did their homework, went and did it. Are you on Saginaw Bay or are you in the river?
Usually the bay, because I take like snowmobiles or quads out. So we like to get out 4, 5, 6 miles. I have fished the river a few times, more smaller fish in the river system. Out in the bay, you get some more quality fish for sure. Man,
that big water, that stuff scares me, man. Hats off to you. Y'all can have that on the ice, man.
A couple miles out, you start to lose land, and it's one of those. It's a trip. I tell you what. Big shout out to Natalie Bauer, who is on the show from Island Armory.
Tip of the hat.
That's right. So walleyes, you're after them, but you do local fishing here as well. And do you so you said hard water walleye. We're getting in, obviously it's a little warm. Are you getting into to the bass bug? Are you going after small, panfish? What are you doing around about this time of year fishing?
I'm going to start getting out here to go after some bass and pike for sure. Panfish, I'm not really big into in the summertime, but wintertime ice fishing, I'll go for the crappie, panfish, and perch for sure. But summertime, mostly bass and pike for sure.
Same bodies of water locally, or?
Yeah, 3 or 4 lakes I hit. Yep.
Don't give away your good spots. Don't say it.
What do you care, Lake? Yeah, that's where I go.
Yeah, Lake I ain't going to tell you.
Right, that lake too. And you know what? Talking before the show, you've never been out to Lake St. Clair, so you have to try to maybe get us over there, do some fishing over there, or even up in Algonac too. There's a good spot right downtown. Yeah. If you go right downtown, you fish off the seawall right there. It's fast, but can be fun, especially if you're night fishing and you get crappie to come in and they're right by the light, and it can be.
I'm gonna be over there this weekend, so I'll have to do.
If you go down there at night and you walk down the boardwalk right downtown, you get by a light, you'll see the feeder fish, and all of a sudden you'll see the crappie coming up and going after.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a blast. And so when you're doing this, are you walleye or bass? Are you going to be like a catch and release, or you throw them in and eat them if you can?
Summertime, just catch and release. Wintertime, I'll keep the walleye, perch, crappie for sure. Definitely kept a couple pike as well. But yeah, usually in the summertime, I usually throw back the bass and pike. So
okay. We've talked about you going after those hard water fishes. What's your scariest moment you've ever had out on the ice?
I tell you what, think about that, because we're going to take a break. I want you to think about that, and then we'll come back and we'll answer that. So we're going to step outside real quick. We're going to take our first break. We come back, we're going to find out the scariest time on the water. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows. From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself, what kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
All right, we're back from our break. Talking in the break. If y'all are listening on the podcast and not watching the live streams, you got to come back.
You do, because whether you're going to catch us live on Facebook at a later time or you're going to wait for the YouTube release. And remember, if you're over at YouTube, please subscribe. Help us out there. But you got to watch us in the breaks, because during the show on podcast, you don't hear that.
Danny was just talking about what kind of disadvantage it was to know me for so long. How long have we known each other? 13, 14 years?
Well, 15? It would be 2008.
Oh, Lord. It's a long time.
Oh, Lord. Anyways, back with Adam Winn from Heartland, Michigan, who's an avid hunter and fisherman. We're talking about hard water fishing at the time. And one of the questions is, so you've been out, but what's been your scariest moment on ice?
Scariest moment on the ice was definitely going to be on Saginaw Bay.
Yep.
We were out there all day, caught quite a bit of fish, stayed till dark. Well, right when dark was setting in, a big storm blew in with some snow. And when you're out on Saginaw Bay, whether it's open water or ice, there's no lights out there.
Nope.
You can't see. So with the snowstorm coming in, thank God me and my buddy have GPS. So if we didn't have GPS, we would have never made it back into shore.
Been in Canada.
Yeah, yep,
Well,
exactly.
Well, either that or they would
Swimming
have
with the
went
fishes.
swimming.
Yep.
So, wow. Absolutely, that is a true statement. Actually, we talked to Tracy Martin, and her biggest was over on the other side, on the Canadian side.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that, because it's so true. It's dark out, and there are no lights, and you're like, okay.
And when a storm comes up on the lakes, I mean, though it was frozen for y'all, but, open water, it happens so quick. Like, even Lake Erie, it's so shallow, the waves come up real fast.
There's that, and if the wind changes directions, it's been known to blow ice out of the bay.
Yeah, then you get an ice flow, and then you're paddling that ice back to shore.
Then you're hoping the Coast Guard is on the way. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about ice fishing. What's your favorite go-to setup is when you're setting up for ice fishing? You a tip-up kind of guy? You a jig kind of guy? What you thinking?
I run both. So I got 2 tip-ups out, so you can have 3 lines total. I run 2 tip-ups, and then I have a jigging rod while I'm fishing for panfish. So if I'm walleye fishing, I have a dead stick rod and then a jigging rod, and sometimes I'll run a tip-up. So every scenario is a little different, but usually I run a jigging rod every time for sure. So
running electronics?
Yep. Sonar, yep. Hummingbird.
Okay.
Ice Helix.
I tell you, one of the best times we had, Mike and I, we were up on Houghton Lake, and we were kind of just out there and enjoying it and watching tip-ups, and the camaraderie is just awesome. You can stand on the ice talking and just watch flags when they go up and have fun at that. But awesome. And so now we're getting into warmer weather. Where are you going to go to? You bait caster, open face? What do you like to go use there?
Yeah, just an open face reel. I use custom rods from a guy in Michigan. They're pretty good. But yeah, that's about it. Just some braided line, and I usually use just spinner baits. Meps. Okay. Meps are really good for bass and pike.
Do you use plastic on them, or just
not the spinner baits? Just like a little Mr. Twister tail on the back.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't really fish like wacky worms or anything like that.
Have you tried?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
That's just not my preference. I don't know. I just like the spinner baits, just more fast paced, I guess.
Gotcha. You talked about the rods, custom rods. Is it a person that builds them for other people, or does he just build them for friends?
Oh yeah, he's a pretty big guy in Michigan. Yeah, he builds them for everybody.
Give him a shout out.
That's Mag's Custom Rods. He's in Gwin in the UP of Michigan.
Okay.
Where?
Yep, Gwin, Michigan. Gwinn.
Gwin, yes.
Gwin, okay.
It's Gwin, Michigan.
Gwin.
Yep.
There you go.
But that's awesome. They used to have an Air Force base there. That's why
really?
It's very popular. Yeah.
How far is that from your place?
Not far. It's actually on my way to my place. Turn right, maybe half hour, 45 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
Don't go to Escanaba, turn right.
Don't go to Escanaba and turn right. There's a long way between St. Ignace and Escanaba.
Before you get to Escanaba, turn right and go up.
There's a
north.
long distance. How close do you get to Escanaba before you turn right?
Not far. You're within a half hour of Escanaba.
Eh?
Right?
Okay.
Do you use live crawlers? Tammy, our walleye fisher woman, wants to know if you use crawlers.
I do not. Nope. When I fish through the ice, I use minnows. So either like a half a minnow or a full minnow, depending on the bite. It all depends what the fish are feeling that day.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. And tell you what, you know as good as I that depending on what they're doing, could be depending on what color. Like we talked to the captain a couple weeks ago. It's like, is it a purple? Is it a yellow? Is it a green? Is it a blue?
A pink? Whatever.
Yeah, whatever they're feeling it. Hope you got it.
Yeah, and it definitely does matter because it was funny when we were on Mullet Lake. We had my buddy had one color spoon on, same spoon, one color. I had a different color on. And I was catching fish, and he wasn't catching anything. So.
Did he switch?
He did switch, and he started catching them. Yep. I let it go for a little bit so I could get a little head start on them. So
that's good.
I gotta like that fishing competition. I'll tell you after about 10 fish.
Yeah.
So when you're out there with your buddies, I gotta imagine there is some competition going back and forth, right? Talking trash, talking smack.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Like
friendly.
Right?
Yep.
If you fish for walleye during the summer, do you use crawlers then?
I have in the river. I have used crawler harnesses, just casting them. I haven't had much luck though. Okay. But usually my biggest walleye fishing is in the wintertime. So.
Okay, so you mainly walleye during the winter.
Yeah, I don't have a boat, so just a kayak.
You know, that's perfectly fine because, you know, you're getting out there, whether it be kayak or you're getting out there ice, for getting out there is the most important.
Is it a fishing kayak?
Yeah, it's got rod holders on it. It doesn't have like the paddles or like the propeller on it or anything, but it definitely has some rod holders on it.
So it's a sit-on, not a sit-in.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
You know, and another question coming in is, have you had a chance to take out somebody else that has not gone fishing or hunting yet, whether it be a younger person, an older person? Have you shared your pleasure with somebody their first time?
Yeah, actually, I took out one of my friends ice fishing this year for his first time. He caught a couple fish, and he was pretty excited for sure. So
he's going to go back and might pick it up?
Yeah. Yep. He's like, I need to get an ice rod now. So
and after this episode, he's not going to let him get away with what color are you using.
Right.
Just look.
Yeah.
Right?
Got to get a shanty. Got to get a auger. Got to get ice rods.
Got
to get some electronics.
Cha-ching.
Right.
Right? So you're a bass. You go after walleye. What about catfish?
No, I've never really been into catfish fishing. I'd definitely be willing to try it though. Anything fishing is up my alley for sure.
I tell you what, can you stand up in your kayak?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Oh, you can. Okay, so it's pretty buoyant. You ever try bow fishing?
I have not. Nope. I have been spear fishing though off a boat.
Okay. Yeah, bow fishing in the spring can be kind of fun.
Yeah, if I still had my boat, we'd go.
Right.
I got rid of that last year. I got rid of it. Actually,
I got the boat, just don't got a motor.
There you go.
Kind of a bummer there, and I ain't gonna be paddling your butt around Lake Ponema. That ain't happening. You'll probably want me to hold the flashlight and row.
There you go.
So, but that is awesome. It's good to hear that you're passing it on to other people. You're going after all these differences, and you know, you set yourself up, being the age you are, that you know it's fun and it's a good thing to get out and do. Have you ever got out there and tried fly fishing?
I have tried it once. It was just on like a lake, just in some shallow water, trying it out. But it is definitely an art to it. It's definitely got some skill behind it. So,
and I don't have it. I lose more flies than I put on.
So the question was fly fishing ? Or trout. Trout, yes. It's just how you go after them. You can either do the fly rod or if you get into tight spots, you throw the little jewelry, the 0s or 1 jewelry. Yep. But then it's not necessarily trout you're going to be getting.
Not all the time, no.
Right, exactly. Which just kind of makes it fun. It's like a smorgasbord that you get out there. But yeah, so if you're going to try it, you know, like I said, get out there. If you want to practice fly fishing, get on the shallow beds, go after the little guys. It makes it fun.
Yeah.
Even though your line's crazy and not doing right, they still bite it. You fight it.
Well, you sent us pictures of ice fishing of the walleye and the pike here. Between them or any other fish, what's your favorite to put in a frying pan?
Walleye and perch for sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
Biggest fish to date?
Biggest fish to date was 36-inch pike, and that was the picture I sent you.
Is it the one in front of the clam or the one?
Yep, the one in front of the clam.
Okay,
yep.
that's the one we got up right now.
We got it up right now. That was 36.
Correct, yep.
Okay.
That was my biggest fish to date, yep.
That's jigging, or was it on a tip-up?
That one was on a jigging rod. That was on a 4-millimeter jig with a wax worm during a tournament as well.
Really?
Yes.
That's the reason for all the other shanties out there.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, did it win you the tournament?
It won me the tournament till about 4 o'clock, and then someone beat me with a 38-inch pike.
Oh. So there's some big fish in that lake.
There is some very big fish in that lake, yep.
Do you fish a lot of tournaments like that during the ice fishing?
No, just a couple local ones.
Yeah, I know they got a couple local ones. I know there's one, typically they have one out on Lake Fenton.
There's one on Byron Lake, too, I think.
Yeah, I think. And, okay, so you do a little bit of fun fishing tournament style, and like you said, get out there, and it makes a great day, right? And the camaraderie out there, and like you said, you were doing good till that guy got you by the
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens, though.
That's why they call it fishing, dude.
Yep.
Right? So, don't worry, Mr. Mark Coleman. We are going to get to those mounts on his wall.
He's chomping at the bit.
He is. He's chomping
Okay,
at the bit.
so we got Mark, one of the gentlemen that runs on our staff, and he is a morel mushroom hunter. Do you do any mushroom hunting?
That's funny you ask, because I'd say probably 2 years ago I started kind of getting into it, and then found a couple decent sized ones. Last year I got more into it, and then this year I'm definitely going to be out looking for some more morels for sure.
Well, Mr. Mark Coleman is slaying them enough to put in a frying pan with a lot of butter. It looks really good.
He's getting them by the bagfuls.
Right?
So he'll probably be calling you wanting to know where your spots are. So just forewarn you right now. Watch out for that guy.
I'm gonna check out my property in Lapeer and see if I can find some out there. So
nice. I'll tell you what, we're bumping up here on the halfway point in the show. So,
and as Mark knows the show, like you said about the mounts hunting, he says, so we'll go there after the break?
Yeah, we can do that.
There
Absolutely.
You go.
All right, we're going to step outside and we'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
All right, back after our second break, halfway through the show. We got somebody in the chat that's asking about the mounts that you got on the wall back there. Where do you want to start? You want to start with turkey hunting?
Well,
or you want
it's
to start with
turkey
deer
season, and I think he's in the middle of it because I think he's got the late season. So tell us how you're doing this year so far.
This year's been really, really slow for me. Bunch of hens, a couple jakes, but it's definitely been slow. All the gobbles I've been hearing have been pretty far off in the distance, so not sure what's going on, but it's definitely been a slow one for me this year.
Compared to other years, you think it's too warm, too cold early on? What do you think's causing it?
I think it's a little too warm out. Last year I had birds all over me. I tagged out opening day, so I don't know what changed between now and then, but I think it might be the warm weather this year for sure.
Yeah, they definitely, it's warmed up so quick. And I was seeing birds on my way to work, driving down the freeway. There's a field, and it's got birds in it every single morning. And it'll have two different flocks in it. And there'll be, 2 or 3 toms parading around with each flock. And since it's turned warm here in the last week and a half, the birds are gone. They're nowhere to be found. So I think it's kind of have something to do with it, I would think.
Yeah, it definitely has. It's been pretty slow, like I said.
Now, are you hunting local? Are you getting up north at all? Where are
That's
you?
I'm hunting out in Lapeer for turkey mostly.
Okay.
So about 40 minutes from me.
He's hunting locally out in Lapeer, but if you look into his backyard sometimes, he's got a pretty nice bird walking back there that he sent us a picture of. That
I do, yep.
And this is in his backyard, folks. That's right, it's turkey season, and he's just antagonizing Adam to shoot him. But he's going to a couple counties over, and he comes home to this.
That's a way to get taunted, I would say.
Right?
Yep, definitely.
So now, with the, are you have to be in a certain county, or do you have the 234 tag where you can hunt private land?
Yeah, I'm on private land, so I got I think it started on April, whatever the opener was, till the end of May. So I have to the end of May to hunt.
Okay.
Yep.
Man, I'm jealous. Have you got out and hunted at all, Danny?
I'm going to get out when I'm up at the cabin.
When you going up?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow.
Okay, gotcha. Not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Correct, the Memorial weekend.
Okay.
I'll be heading up on Thursday. And then I'll be doing some hunting there, and I hope they're like they were the one year. That's all I got to say. Congratulations to Mark Coleman. He did get his first turkey this year with a crossbow. He says what an experience.
We got to get him on and talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the one on the wall. Let's talk about that one that you got on the wall. What is your biggest beard to date, or maybe spurs or weight? What do you got going on?
Honestly, don't remember off the top of my head, but the one behind me on the wall, that was a triple beard one that I got last year.
So you triple bearded one from last year?
Yep. Yeah, it has a triple beard on it.
Did you get it scored?
I did not get it scored. My neighbor's been itching at me to get it scored.
Get it in CBM. It'll be in. You'll get enough if it's a.
But he had one broken spur, but the other one was a dagger for sure.
Nice. Old bird then.
I think it was 1 3/4 inch was his.
Wow. His 3-year-old bird.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Minimum 3-year-old.
And that's what my neighbor said. It was a 3-year-old plus. That's exactly what.
And what's nice is about that fan that we see on your wall, or actually on the picture that we see. The tail fan is intact. Sometimes with these old birds that you get, they get into every fight possible, and you start seeing them without tail feathers. It's like, all right.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Now, do you take this one with archery equipment, or was it shotgun?
Shotgun. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Shotgun. What are you using?
20 gauge break barrel.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
Very cool.
Savage 301 or
Nice.
Stevens 301. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Single break. What size shot?
4 shot.
Okay, so you're using a 4 shot. Okay.
Wow.
Because you get into that big debate, what are you using, how far out, blah, blah, blah. But that is awesome, a triple beard taken with a 20 gauge. I tell you what, 20 gauge
I love them.
is, you can't go wrong with them. And now people are dabbling in the 410,
Yep.
which is fine.
Yep.
But I like the Remington 870, the 20 gauge youth model. That thing has got such a nice short barrel on it. You can get through some thick cover quick with it. It swings nice, and with a good turkey choke tube in that thing, they are deadly.
Are you using a full choke on that?
Yeah, I have a special turkey choke on it.
You did put a turkey choke. Excellent. That's awesome.
I also have a red dot on top as well, so
Okay.
that actually I like that a lot. So
Did you call them in from afar, off the roost?
that one took about 40 minutes to come across the whole field. Yep.
Oh, you got to watch them.
Watch them
Yeah.
and work them.
All on video too.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I got to ask, why a break barrel? What's the significance of going with a break barrel?
A guy at my work suggested it. He's been running one for, I don't know, 5-10 years now, and I picked one up and he got it all dialed in for me, and it's a poker for sure, definitely.
If it kills, that's all that matters.
Yep.
If you point and shoot and it hits what you're aiming at,
there you go.
Call it a day, man. Cause
And usually on turkeys, if you miss, they're going to be gone for sure.
Yeah, there's not going to be a second or third shot.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's one of the things. And as you're calling this bird in, are you a mouth call kind of guy, box call, pot call? What do you combo in there?
I got a slate call and a box call.
What do you?
And
prefer?
actually, I like the slate call a lot.
Okay.
I feel like I can get a lot more cut sounds with that than the box call.
Gotcha. Well, you sent us another picture, another bird you said was from 2 years ago. Take us through that hunt just a little bit about that one.
So that one I killed at about 11 a.m. in the morning, and I packed up all my decoys and was about to walk out of the field, and all I saw was a red head at the very tip of the field, and it kind of crests down, so he couldn't see me at the time. His back was turned to me. So I snuck back in my blind, put the decoys back out, started calling, and sure enough, he came right over that field, right into the decoys.
Wow.
So, yep. I got lucky on that one, so.
Hey, it's whatever it takes,
Yeah.
That's an awesome story, man.
And that was my first bird, too, so.
Wow.
There you go. You took the you had the opportunity, you took it, the calls worked. Was he alone?
He was a solo bird. Both those birds that I've killed were solo.
Yep, and they say, well, what time was the other one you shot?
Oh, that was evening. So I think it was like 7 o'clock.
Okay, so what they say, like from anywhere from 10 to 2, is you get those singles to start traveling because sometimes the hens are already on nest.
Yeah.
So they got to go looking, and obviously you got at the right spot and called them in. And what was the distance for the shot?
Oh, that was a poke. I think it was about 45 yards for that one.
Couldn't wait any longer, could you?
The one last year was about 15 yards, so he came right into the decoys.
You gotta like that.
Yep.
And that's one of the things when you're turkey hunting, depending on what the bird is up to and what he's thinking. Sometimes decoys can hurt you. Sometimes they can hinder you. Because if he's had his butt kicked a few times, it's kind of funny.
Well, it's just like the video. Did you see the video from the guys over at Sunrise?
Not yet.
Oh my gosh, we talked to the two guys that put this video together. They work over at Sunrise Archery, and we want to get them on the show and talk about a little bit about guiding, and the other one about him filming his hunts. So incredible, some of the best turkey footage I think I've ever seen. It was.
Yeah, I think I did see the picture of it. They doubled up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Was it two birds? Yeah, I did see the picture of it. Yeah.
You go and find the video. We'll have to send you a link because
I'll have to watch it for sure.
Man, when they come in, it's incredible. It's
It
good
is.
stuff.
It is. So you got to the end of the month to get out there and get us some pictures of a good bird that you're gonna get.
Yep.
Or you're gonna.
I've had a couple on camera, so I know they're out there, but they've been it's like once or twice a week they come through at a weird time, like 11, 12, so.
After they're done breeding, they're looking for love later.
Right. Well, that's what they do, and if not, he's going to come home and skewer one that's in the backyard staring at him.
There you go.
Yeah, yep. He's got to the end of the month, so.
There you go. So, you got that, switching over to the other mount on there, some deer hunting you do. You said you were deer hunting probably from about 12, 13 years old. Are you more of a gun hunter, crossbow, bow? What's your
crossbow and bow for sure. I definitely see myself out there a lot more during bow season than gun season for sure.
Do you hunt locally? Are you up north again? I mean, or is it the same properties that you're turkey hunting?
Yep, same property in Lapeer. I hunt deer and turkey, and then like I said, I can hunt behind my house as well. It's about 20 acres I got there. So
you seen a lot of deer up over there in Lapeer County?
I do. Yep, and it varies every year depending on what's in the field. Every year they have soybeans. I see so many deer. I don't know what to do. So.
Well, shoot them.
Yeah. Last year we had corn, which I didn't like that at all. You can't see nothing. So.
Well, corn is one of the best worst for deer. It gives them so much good cover until they actually cut it that they can they can stay in a cornfield the whole day.
The thing that drives me nuts about hunting corn or on the edge of a cornfield is it's dry. And when the wind blows, it makes all kinds of racket. And that can work for you or it can work against you. I mean, it can allow you to sneak in. But, man, it's like hearing a squirrel behind you run through the leaves. It's like every time you hear it, you think there's a deer coming.
Exactly. Biggest deer to date?
8 point.
From Lapeer or from behind your house?
Yep,
Okay.
Lapeer.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Well, take us through that hunt.
It was right in the morning, right when the sun was coming up. It was one of those perfect frosty mornings. And he came down the trail I was set up on, and it was a 20-yard broadside shot with the crossbow. So he only ran about 10, 15 yards.
You gotta like that.
Yep.
You gotta like when the plan comes together to that point, they don't even run that far.
And there's no tracking. Yeah. No tracking involved.
And obviously, you saw him drop.
Yep.
So it was like, that's awesome. And, you sit there and hopefully your drag wasn't that far, so it made for a great morning.
Well, I got a question. Okay, so you've had somebody that is taking you out and taught you how to hunt, how to fish. Maybe it was the first deer, maybe it was the next deer you shot, but how did you learn how to gut a deer? Or did you just take it on your own and figure it out?
Well, I shot a doe with my dad's friend that was helping me out that I was learning from. So he walked me through how to gut the doe, and I picked it up pretty quick, and I've gutted all the rest of my deer myself. So
okay, do you take and process your own meat and butcher it, or do you take it to have it done?
I have it done.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Favorite cut? I mean, what to prepare it? What's your favorite meal with venison?
Back straps on the grill all day, definitely.
Right? Can't go wrong with that one, right?
No, that's the best for sure.
And so you're out there hunting out there in Lapeer County or behind your house. Are you more of a stand hunter up in a tree? Are you down on the ground? Or you do some spot and stalking?
Mostly all the time in a tree stand. I got some hanging hunt setups that I use out in Lapeer. I kind of started getting into the more mobile hunting last year. So been experimenting with that. It's definitely a new game.
How do you go about when putting a stand? I mean, as far as scouting goes, I mean, do you go out in the spring? Do you go out in the summer, the fall? You use cameras? How do you?
Yeah, I got 2 cell cameras that I run out in Lapeer for scouting turkey and deer.
Okay.
But I'm out there year round, so I'm doing scouting on the ground.
Okay.
All year. So.
Well, now, before the show started, we were talking with you. You had a deer that was on camera, and you actually found the match set of sheds. You got them there handy?
Yeah, I got them down here.
Well, let's see them because this is right behind his house. And
I think this was out on was this
behind the house?
This was behind the house, yep.
Okay. Now, take us through that a little bit. What were you out doing when you found these?
I was actually taking a tree stand down.
Okay.
That was about 4 weeks ago now. And I found one about 15 yards away from my stand. And then there's a big doe buck bedding area about 50 yards away. And I really scavenged through there, and I found the other side of them. And I had them on camera for about 4 or 5 months.
So you know that it's a match set from the same buck that you've been seeing.
Yep.
Nice. And that's one thing that Derek did say is when you find the bedding areas, really scour them the most because that's where they're at the most times. And that's, and then he found a match set, which is awesome. So you are for sure that buck made it through the year then?
Yep.
Imagine what he's going to be like.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. He was probably about a 3.5-year-old probably, so.
Gotta like that. That gives you encouragement going into the season too,
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, are you a fixed blade kind of guy or are you a mechanical blade kind of guy?
I like fixed blade. I've had some issues with mechanicals. None that actually didn't kill the deer, but I've had some not expand on me. So I kind of veered away from those and went to just fixed blades.
Okay.
And haven't had an issue with them. So
yeah, fixed blades they're fixed. They're going to cut.
Yep.
Right. We used dead meats last year, and I tell you what, it's exactly what it meant.
Well, last year this is the first time that I used a mechanical broadhead.
Yep.
And I'm like you. I'm fixed blade, and then just so happens we had some, and I said, you know what? I'm going to give these a try. And man, I tell you what, like when they open, oh man, do they open?
Yep.
So, but that's the first time I've used them, and I can't really say one way or the other, because I've only had the experience the one time with them. So
yeah, the 8-point on the wall, that was from a mechanical Grim Reaper, and like I said, he only ran 10 yards. So they work, but that one time it failed on me. It didn't open. I got shy from them for sure.
Yeah, it kind of jades your experience, and then it makes you think twice, and you never want to think twice when you're at full draw on a buck or a doe.
Right.
Yep.
So I tell you what, let's go ahead. We'll take our last break,
right.
and we come back. We'll wrap it up. So we're gonna step outside, take our last break. We'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at psearchery.com.
All right,
Folks,
last segment.
If you're listening on the podcast and you're just tuning in, you gotta go back and watch Facebook or catch the YouTube replay. You're missing the things we talk about in the break that you don't hear because of commercials. But tell you what, you gotta check it out because we talk about things you may never hear on the podcast.
There you go. That's the reason we do it.
Right? Exactly. So
good stuff.
So, Mr. Adam Winn, as a guest of Up North Journal, we got some questions for you. You already answered one. But we're going to ask it again, but we're going to switch it and say, nope, you can't talk about venison. But what's your favorite way to prepare fish, either the walleye or perch that you caught?
Just in a frying pan, just with some butter and garlic. I'm not a really big batter guy, but just frying them up's a pretty good way.
Okay, so butter, garlic. Do you ever use like short lunch or anything, a little bit of light batter to put on it?
I have a couple times, yep. My friend's grandpa, when he cooks the pike for us, he kind of chunks them up and batters them, so they're like little chicken nuggets, and they're pretty good that way.
Well, just like the deer question I asked you, Who taught you how to go to fish, or is that something you just tackled on yourself?
I did some research, but I learned from my buddy how to do it.
Okay.
His grandpa, he's really good at filleting up the pike because they have those backbones in them.
Right.
So we let him fillet the pike up. But as far as walleye and other small panfish, I learned that from my buddy.
You know, that's the one thing about filleting fish. There's always somebody that's got a new or different technique, and it seems like you can just keep improving on your skills of cleaning wild game, whether it be fish, deer, what have you.
I tell you, when you see Captain fillet those fish, you'll be like, holy shit.
Well, I saw the video when he was cutting yours up.
Cheeks or no cheeks?
Oh, yeah. You got to keep the cheeks.
There you go, Tammy. She always got to know. All right, so you're going out fishing or you're going out hunting for the day. You know you're going to be driving to that spot. What are you going to be listening to on the radio?
I'm a big country guy. I like country.
Okay.
But
New country, old country?
Both. I like it all.
Okay.
But Fred Bear definitely plays one time at least on the way. So.
Amen to that.
Right, there you go. So you're traveling, you're out on the ice, or you're sitting up in your stand. What's your favorite snack?
Favorite snack? Just some peanut butter crackers. Something simple. That way I don't have to get out of the stand.
There you go. Everything, I like this because he just keeps everything nice and simple.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
You just got to kiss it, right? Keep
there
it
you go.
Simple. And that's one of the things, what's the most important item you're going to take with you out and stand to you that is maybe, whether it be sentimental, maybe it's a good luck charm, or maybe it's something you need. Obviously, if you're up in a tree, your safety harness is a thing, but maybe there's something you got to have with you. Is it a lucky...
Probably I have like a lucky bracelet I wear, I guess, every time I go out hunting. So that's kind of like a little good luck charm to me.
Everybody's got something they take with them.
Yep.
Always. Let's look ahead instead of we learned a little bit about you from growing up and what you've been doing, but what is on your bucket list, species wise, or maybe a state that you want to hunt with? What are you looking ahead at?
I definitely want to go out west and do some big game hunting in my life for sure. I want to get into some elk hunting. That's definitely a big interest of mine.
Okay.
I've definitely been applying in Michigan for an elk tag and bear tag, so
okay.
I'd love to apply or get one for a bear or elk. That'd be sweet. But definitely want to venture out west sometime for sure.
I tell you what, when we talked with you before the show, and if we get you, maybe next year we'll get you to come up with tack, and you get that kind of feel for if you were to be hunting elk or if you were to be hunting antelope or something like that. That those courses are so perfect to get you that little bit of taste what you might be encountering. It's kind of sobering in a way.
It is. You find out what it really takes to even start thinking about a hunt like that. The amount of
get you in that mindset.
It does. It really does. The walking, the climbing. It's not like being out west. I've been one time and it totally kicked my butt. But yeah, it just gives you that taste of it, and it's like, yeah, this is cool. I want to do this. So yeah, I understand that for sure.
Okay, so question for Mark Coleman, who's being mean, but it's Mark, good old Maverick. All right. You can only hunt one. Would it be fish, or would it be hunting deer or turkey?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It'd probably have to be fish. I really like my fishing. Definitely, ice fishing is one of my favorite things to do.
Gotta like that.
Hey, and one of the other things that
it's a good thing we don't have to choose though.
Well, that's one of the nice things here in Michigan is basically 365 days out of the year you can be doing something.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep, exactly.
Have you ever gone on a hog hunt?
I have not. Nope.
What about waterfowl?
My brother used to duck hunt, and I went out a couple times with him. Okay. It was fun, but I don't know, not my forte, I guess.
It's during bow season,
right?
that too. Yep, exactly. Deer season.
That is like the ultimate. It's bow season.
I mean, I have fun when I do it. I have a riot. I'm not real good at swinging a shotgun, I mean, I like to spray lead. That's about all I can do. I've killed a few birds, but I love the camaraderie and it being a, what I want to say, like a community-style hunt where you can sit, you can talk. You don't have to be, whisper quiet like a deer blind. You don't have to worry about, cover scent and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
If I remember right, back in the day, I think you served breakfast. So I'm thinking that's how you like it.
Oh, that too. Yeah. You got to have the pre-dawn blind breakfast.
Is that what it is?
Cooking out in the outdoors. There's something about cooking outside, man. I just love it. I'm going to be doing that this weekend, too, by the way. Not waterfowl hunting. I'm going to be cooking outside.
I was going to say.
let me put a stop to that right now because I saw the look on your face.
What? But, no, that's awesome. So, you know what? And that's one of the things about hunting here in Michigan. You know, like you said, you like ice fishing, but you're going to get out on the softball. You like hunting, but maybe not duck hunting, but you've got bow, gun, crossbow, whatever. You got those 3 months to go and do it. And it's just one of the things in Michigan that's fantastic anywhere.
Yep, exactly.
Have you ever run a trap line?
I have not. Nope.
Okay. Is it something that would intrigue you or no?
I would actually like to do that. Lapeer, I got some coyotes out there that would be up my alley to trap some of those. I have no education on that at all, so it'd be something I'd have to learn, which I wouldn't be opposed to.
Okay.
Or go out there in the evening and see if you can't call one in. Just obviously
smoke it,
right? Like you said, you don't have the night vision equipment like
Chris
Kreiner does, but you get out there right at dusk and see if you can't call one in. If you got them in thick, it shouldn't take much to get them in to come a running.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not too thick. There's spotty ones. One almost got it opening morning. He popped through the field pretty quick, so I was ready to shoot him with the turkey load.
Yeah, I definitely would. You see him come through, it's like it's game on. It turns in from whatever kind of hunt into a coyote hunt just like that.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So, you ever use a black powder?
Yeah, I have a muzzleloader. But now in Michigan, you can use whatever you want. So,
what do you think about that? What's your take on especially down here in this zone?
I don't know. I don't know why they would ever changed it. I kind of liked it split up. I think it took the hunters out of the woods, and not many more deer were getting killed. A lot more people have the average 12 gauge shotgun. So,
right.
But I liked it definitely.
Well, you got into that straight wall cartridge business, and all of a sudden everybody's got 450s and 357 Legends out there, and you're running around with a straight wall cartridge, and it's like, what? I don't know. It is what it is. It's just another tool in the tool shed. But
we'll just call it deer season. I mean, or firearm season. It's not muzzleloader season anymore when you start incorporating the things. I mean,
correct.
We're probably splitting hairs. I mean, any chance to get out in the woods and take game, to me, I like. But I understand why there's different seasons for different types of tools to use in the field. So.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely. So.
Have you ever hunted behind dogs for any species?
I did a pheasant hunt one time.
Okay.
Had some dogs flushing. That's about it.
Okay. Never hunted like at night with raccoon or 4 raccoons?
Nope, never done that.
That is one of the funnest things I think I've done just on a small game style hunt is running behind dogs in the middle of the night, listening to them bark and bay, and all of a sudden when they tree and they start chopping on the tree, it's really cool. It's a whole different style of hunting.
Yeah, I've seen some videos. It definitely looks pretty exciting for sure.
It's a good way to get kids out and get them started too. So.
And the name of that question is being asked was the name of the custom rod builder was Mags, right?
Yes, Mags, MAGS.
There you go. Go to Mags.
You got the website?
MagsCustomRods.com.
Right,
You'll find it. There you go.
And this is out of the UP in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan?
Yep, he does ice rods and open water rods. He does all of them, every type of rod you can think of. So
why did you choose that versus just a high-end store-bought rod?
I like supporting my local companies for sure. And I actually found him on Facebook, and he was not that big. It was probably 5 years ago, and he's blown up pretty big now. So
nice.
Definitely like to see that.
You can go over there, check out. He'll do custom rods. You can build your own custom rods. He'll take you through the process of getting that done. He's also got some pre-built ones that you probably can order them right off the website. You shop on them. And he's also got some badass builds.
That's what it says.
I'm just reading what I read. I'm not swearing, folks. So you can go over there, check it out. He's got a whole list catalog, and he's got some reels that he also sells. Now, there you go. So Mags Custom Rods, the ones that Adam's locally built here in the UP of Michigan.
When you purchased yours, did you go through the build process and pick out what you wanted, or did you buy one that he had already pre-built?
I bought the custom ones, so I went through and picked out exactly what I wanted. So
okay, so you knew what kind of action you wanted, the length and all that, and how you wanted them built.
Yep, exactly.
And see, that's something I would have no clues to know what to ask for on something like that.
Yep, yeah, it all depends on how you're fishing and where you're fishing. You know, some guys like longer rods; they're outside, not fishing in a shack. Well, I fish in a shack a lot, so I like a shorter rod. So.
Gotcha.
And the action of the rod all depends on the fish you're fishing for. So
Makes
I got
sense.
a versatile of different actions.
And if you want to help support them, go over there again, scroll down the main page. They're having a panfish rod giveaway. It's open till 6/1/22, it looks like, because that's where they're going to randomly select the winner.
So right here towards the end of the month.
So right here towards the end of the month, a 7-foot light mod fast rod.
There you go. Now see, that's something I could use on the water around here for
Absolutely.
what little bit I do,
Absolutely.
I know on the trout stream I use anywhere from a 6 to a 5.5 foot rod, ultra light tackle for trout. Just take it and snap it and flick it and get it into where I need to get the jewelry into. So that's as much as I know about rods.
Yeah.
And that came as a recommendation, so it's not like I know anything about them.
Right, exactly. And then right up there, right there in Gwynn, right in Rapid River, you got Rapid River Knife Works.
Yep. I love that knives.
Another local place.
Got two of those.
Do you? Yeah, I've got about 4 or 5, maybe 6. And shout out to them if you don't know what we're talking about. It's marble knives. They were made in Gladstone here years ago. I'm talking about the old style knives. 2 guys that used to work there before the Marble Knife Company went down and they started making them offshore. They opened up and started Rapid River Knife Works. I don't know if it's still under that same ownership or not, but they're all custom made knives. And I tell you what, they are beautiful. They're sturdy. They're rock solid. Right there's a website. Danny's called it up.
Yep, go to rapidrivernifework.us. And
lifetime warranty and lifetime sharpening. Can't complain on that.
You got that right.
Yep, you can stop in anytime. They'll sharpen it up for you if they got the time, if they're not behind on what they're doing.
Have you been to that shop up there, Adam?
When I went up to Little Bay to knock, I was going to try to get in there, but they weren't open.
Okay.
I was passing through there on a Sunday, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
But I do want to get in there. Their showroom, it definitely looks pretty cool in there.
Have you been up there, Danny?
I have not. Well, I've been there, but I've not gone in.
Okay. I've not been inside since they've remodeled. So it's been probably 6-7 years or so. I was up in Escanaba for a trapping convention.
Oh, yeah.
And I stopped in there. Actually, I bought that's where I got my pack axe from, my little tiny one that I use for the pelvic bones. And they just got some really cool stuff. So highly recommended. I'll tell you what, we are running out of time. It's been a great conversation and getting to know you tonight, and appreciate you coming on the show, Adam.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys inviting me on.
Absolutely. Anytime we can hear about a hunting style, a fishing style, what they enjoy about it, what they're willing to pass on, and it's awesome to get to know people, especially locally, and have you on and just spreading the word. It's a great time.
I'll tell you what, we're going to wrap it up. If you guys run across his social media pages, give him a like, follow, share. Do the same for us here at Up North Journal. Share the show for us, and if you're listening to the podcast over on iTunes, make sure you give us a review. It helps the people who support us, and we love to support them in return. So next week, we got anything scheduled yet? Nothing scheduled. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. We'll just have to tune in next week and find out who we've got on, or you get to listen to Danny and me.
Well, you're going to be back from your first camping adventure.
No, I've already been out camping once this year. I'll be cruising Harson's Island.
Oh, we'll take.
It'll be the first time I've been on the water this year with a kayak. So yeah, we'll have some stuff to talk about.
You're probably going to see some freighters.
Yeah, well, I don't want to stay away from them. They're a little bit bigger than what I've got.
Catch a wave, dude.
Yeah, right. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back again next week, same time, 7:30 Wednesday night. Y'all take care.
This episode was brought to you by
PSC Archery,
Deer Camp Coffee,
Buck Baits,
JPO Game Calls,
The Island Armory,
Hacker Max,
Sunrise Archery,
and C3 Better the Hunt Technology.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.